Hi, neighbor. So I started to make a video earlier. How's everybody doing? It's Saturday night, and as Prince said, and I was feeling all right. I watched Prince the other day. I didn't used to think much of Prince, to tell you the truth. I didn't like his songs, that Lady in the Red Corvette. But I saw some stuff on Facebook, and he's quite the character. He was talking to this one girl. She looked like the one lady who she's got a Mexican name, Maria something. She's a news anchor. I made a big old thing about her, right? Because I made a big old thing about her because she had come out on this one documentary, and I mentioned something about her, but she's still around. You would never suspect that she had a Mexican name. But anyways, I went looking and looking and looking, and I finally found her name because her name was not on the credits in the documentary. So is there anybody in here flipping through the YouTube vertical live feeds? Well, let me say this. Is there anybody who's not flipping through vertical live feeds and found this live stream? Because let's just be honest. All these people making video live feeds are messed up in their brain. You don't believe me? I can prove it to you right now. You want to see some of them? And so I just wanted to make a little video here. Oh, that's a lot better, huh? Especially with my glow in the dark. So I'll tell you about a couple products. I just had this product right now. Let me see what else is in here. I've been eating. Oh, wow. The Wheaties, mini wheats. You can see them. Mini wheats, $1.25 at Dollar General. Come in their own bowl. So that's really convenient. These are really, really good. Only problem is I only bought myself one of them, and so looks like I got a couple Red Bulls in there. I don't know how I got 2 Red Bulls. I only bought one, but there's 2 Red Bull cans in here. That's crazy. Okay, so let me show you this one product. If you have not tried these, try these. They're yogurt, coconut yogurt. Have you ever tried it? It's pretty good. One time we were over at this one delivery place in, I think it's Merced. That's where they have the Save Mart. Save Mart is a grocery store over here in California, and a grocery chain. And one time we were there, all the truckers come in when you're doing refrigerated freight, from coast to coast. And this one foreigner, how everybody's pissed off at the foreigner truck drivers right now. Well, this was one of them, and he had a whole boatload. He had a whole crap load of extra product that they put back on his truck. So he started asking us all if we wanted cases of these of yogurt, and it was coconut. So after everybody else took some, I said, okay, let me have some. You know, it's just gonna go bad, right? I didn't have any, place to put it. But that's the first time I had some coconut yogurt, and now they're selling them for $1 down at the Dollar General store. You can get strawberry, and some other kind. I don't know what. Oh, blueberry, strawberry, blueberry, and coconut. So if you have not tried the coconut, they're called Chobani. I don't know what language that is. I know it's backwards because it's mirrored. I got 6 people in here, man. I feel like I'm a movie star. Okay. So yeah, so try some if you haven't tried it. It's coconut yogurt. $1. $1. What can you buy for $1 anymore? Okay, and the last product that I want to show you is Bratz vinegar. Okay, remember I told you I said it was overpriced? I got it at Dollar General, strangely enough. They have them at Walmart. And everybody was really crazy about this. It's, used to say organic on it and stuff like that. And then somebody came out and they said, somebody bought the company out and it's not organic. They bought the company out so that people would stop getting better, healthy, and they bought the company out. And it's not real organic, this and that. And so I was telling the people too, I said, well, I saw it in Dollar General, so I just grabbed it. But when I looked at the receipt, it was $3, right? But actually, I've been using the Walmart brand vinegar, which is pretty good. But this kind, I guess it has something in it called Mother. I think it's called Mother. And it's this white stuff that's down at the bottom of it. You can shake it up. But that's what's particular about this kind of vinegar. It's Bratz. And I was like, man, I heard they got bought out. They're not even the same company anymore. And, it's fake and everything like this. But I can tell you, it is different. Even though I've been liking the because I buy it in the big bottles, right? And I put Himalayan salt in here. I learned this little trick from a YouTuber on their vertical live feeds. They're out of Louisiana or something. I forget what their YouTube channel name is. I said, oh, that's brilliant, because then it gives you the minerals and everything like that. But anyhow, I can tell you, this vinegar is good. It's different than the other one. It's more bold, rich flavor. So it is a good product. Okay? Really, really good. And that's all the products that I have to talk about right now. What else did I get? I got tuna. I bought myself a big old boatload of mayonnaise from Dollar General, right? And I got myself a dozen eggs and Sprite, but I don't want to drink my Sprite yet because I got it in a can, and I don't want to open it up just to have a couple drinks. And what else did I get? Oh, menudo. Bought me a can of menudo. So I've got, because I want to eat oregano, right? So I got me a can of menudo, and I have a little bit of lemon juice left, because menudo's not menudo unless you have lemon juice to go with it. But I'm gonna have some with the oregano. Oregano's good for you. Instead of having the oregano oil, which costs quite a bit, I'm just gonna have me some menudo and load it up with oregano. Yeah, buddy. Can't wait to get home to open up the can and get this menudo going. What's going on here? Okay, well, it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot as a Russian firecracker. And I forgot to look up to see if if Russia does make firecrackers. Think they make firecrackers in Russia? Bottle rockets, sky rockets. So I was trying to think of some topics to talk about. I'll let it cool down in here because it's humid. I was trying to think of some topics to talk about, and well, I haven't really thought about any topics, except for one thing. That I'll turn the engine off here in a minute. Oh, there's some comments coming in. I'm like a big time YouTuber now. There's a couple girls on here. There's some dudes on here. I saw one guy today. I saw one guy with a cow in his car, right? And I'm like, dude, I used to work around cows. I know what cows do. It's gonna freaking poop all over your car. And he had a bull and he had a cow. And so on the way up here during the daytime, I'm up by Devil's Den, okay, and this is where I saw a coyote the other day. And I'm American Indian, and not American Indian. I'm indigenous Native American, not Indian. The only reason why they call Native Americans Indians is because Christopher Columbus got confused when he was discovered this place. He thought he had landed in India. So he saw the people around here and he called them Indians. That's why if you talk to an educated Native American, they'll tell you, I'm not Indian because I was not born in India. Native American, indigenous Native Americans. And so I believe in that stuff. And when you see an animal, it means something. You can even look it up. You can ask AI. And but anyhow, I was driving up here and I saw a lady with 2 or 3 kids, and the kids must have been like 5, 6, maybe, 5 and 6. And I think there was 1 girl and maybe 2 boys. Could have been 2 girls and 1 boy, who knows. Up in the hills, she was going downhill, I was going uphill, and this highway here is treacherous, big time. It has a bad name. They have a name for it, which I'm not going to even repeat it because words have power. And so she was letting her kids look at the mountains. This is right here. This is the San Andreas fault line. Okay, the earthquake and stuff. And they were looking at it, and right over this part, just to let you people know, you other people who might be in Australia or New Zealand, about 50 miles that way, as the crow flies, right over those hills right there, is the Pacific Ocean. The world's largest freaking great white sharks are right here in this area, in case you didn't know that. Why? Because it's also the Marianas Trench runs along the ocean right here, close to the beach. And they say that the largest sea fish ever lives down there. And it's like the deepest part, it has the fastest drop off or whatever. Just to let you know that. But this is the San Andreas fault line. This is where we have all the earthquakes, and that place that I was telling you about the other day where where we were like, they go hunting without licenses. There's a word for it. And I had used a deer rifle they were using. And well, that place there is called Parkfield. It's very famous. If you look it up online, you'll see the Parkfield is very famous. That's where we were. And one night we went up there and we were chasing a rabbit. And it was just like, we were chasing that rabbit for like, it had to have been at least a mile or 2 miles. It was crazy. But anywho, so this lady was sitting there, and I'm like, you obviously do not watch Facebook. Because, for a long time, people were like, well, I could park on the side of the road. Even myself, too, right? I could park on the side of the road. Nothing's going to happen. You heard about that one thing where the bus ran into the back of somebody way over on the northeast coast, right? Well, that's because they weren't telling you all the stuff that was happening. It happens all the time. And they're showing it on Facebook now. So she obviously is not watching Facebook, because if she did, she would know how often, especially on this freeway, crap happens. She wouldn't be pulling over on the side of the road. I mean, she was only like, it's in the mountains. There's nowhere. You're only like 6 feet from traffic. And if she was watching Facebook and saw all the stuff that they're showing, I don't know if you're seeing it, but around here, the California Highway Patrol, CHP, is showing it. They're posting all this stuff on Facebook. And so if she saw how common this stuff is, she would not be pulling over on the side of the road right there sightseeing. It's too freaking dangerous. And so that's all I have to share. That's the only thing I could think about to share for right now. It's Saturday night. And let me go in here and see if anybody's asked any questions, so I can have something to talk about. The only thing I could really talk about is how people are. You want me to show you some right now? And then this one guy, you remember I was saying this stuff about the lemon? How people in other countries, they care about their people, right? Where over here, they deliberately take anything that's good, anything that has medicinal qualities, they deliberately take it out of the product and give us the product with all the beneficial medicinal qualities of it taken away from it. Okay? And so this one guy, his YouTube channel is Yellow, Kevin Yellow. Okay? He's probably on right now. Him and this girl, they always make videos in Los Angeles, the city of angels. So does Jessica Pomadessa, who actually is raking in the bucks. Okay? So if you go on starstat.yt, that stands for YouTube, starstat.yt, you can put anybody's channel in there and see how much money they're making. They're making bank. And I told you that the one guy from right around here somewhere, he was making $750,000. Hello? A year. But anyhow, I saw a little canal out here, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna come out here and go fishing. Right? It's way out here. This is around this area. It's called Devil's Den, right out here. It's kind of like Death Valley. It's little brother or cousin. But so let me show you these people who are on here. I don't know if you know how to get to these vertical live feeds, okay? Like you go in to search on YouTube, and of course that camera will not show you. Okay, you go in to search on YouTube and you see this, it'll say live, You know, you find one that's live. You see how those like in horizontal, they are in long. They're like in vertical, right? And it'll say live. Like this one is in horizontal and it says live, but that will not take you to the vertical live feeds. Okay? So you have to find somebody who's already doing a live. And when you find somebody that's doing a vertical live feed and you click on it, now you have access to everybody doing vertical live feed by scrolling up on the screen or scrolling down. But that's almost the only way to get into the vertical live feeds. And these are worldwide. It's basically the free flow of information. I'm pretty sure the search for it is being, you know, the algorithm is being driven by some experiment on AI or something strange is going on. So here's a little cute mamacita. She's 21 and she's always doing live feeds, right? So you can go into her channel and then, you know, you can find all the people who are doing live feeds. So this girl's channel,
for 2029. Damn,
all she does is just sit there and put on makeup or, you know, talk about her life, that, you know, she's gonna get married and, right, she want to have a kid or all this stuff. And so, you know, you can sit here and watch her for a little while, right? But let me show you some other people who are on here. Well, there's me, so I can read the comments. Employees, unemployed. Raw said hi. Somebody said hi. I don't read it. Okay, somebody's leaving comments that are, you know, acting, you know, creepy or like, I know what you did last summer type crap stuff. You're about to get booted. I don't want to read that crap. Okay, message held for review. Let's read this. Don't care, take off your clothes. That's not even funny. You do not have, you're not funny at all. Not funny like Robin Williams. Robin Williams was funny. I remember when I was a kid, and the first time I saw Robin Williams, he actually, I just read something online that he actually cared about homeless people. He had hired like 1,500 homeless people in his lifetime. So that's pretty cool. When he was playing Mork and Mindy, I mean, it was just like a natural high. I couldn't stop laughing when he came out there with Richie and stuff. Richie was on Happy Days, and he got on the couch and he said, Richie says, make yourself comfortable. So he got on the couch and sat on his head. I was just cracking up, man. I couldn't stop. It was like a natural high. Okie dokie. You waffling, but it's fine. Tell me if what makes you. Man, these people, I feel like booting them. But, you know, it boosts, whatchamacallit. So, then there's people who are too embarrassed to go on here. You know they want to so bad. Everybody wants to be a movie star. Also, I was thinking about, but let me just show you some of them. But I will talk to you about this one guy whose name was, I won't say his name. But you got people like in different stuff on. You can tell that they're showing a TV. Um, but let me. So here's some people. Looks like they're out in a swap meet, but you can't see it anyway. But you go in there and look at them yourself. Nobody is saying anything useful. Like I'm explaining something to you, right? I'm trying to, share information with you. You won't find anybody doing that in here. They're all like freaking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But anyhow, let me tell you about this one person. There was this one person, and I was like, I was a jerk. And one time he said, you want to come and check out my he had a digital 8-track tape recorder because he played guitar. Not an 8-track tape like the cheap 8-track tapes that you used to get from Walmart. You'd play an 8-track tape player, right? And they would always get messed up. The tape would always be messed up. You have to open them and redo them and scotch tape them. These were 8-track tape players. But this is a different kind of 8-track tape. It has 8 tracks for recording musicians. 1 track for recording the drums, 1 track for recording the vocals, and 1 track for recording the guitar and everything like that. And I was like, nah. I said, those are no good. I said, I was like, they're done. Digital is I was just being dumb because they weren't finished yet. It was still a good machine. And he was saying a lot of different things, right? But I wasn't hearing what he was saying. He was telling me a lot of useful information. And I never realized it until years and years later. Yeah, I never knew. It never occurred to me. I had no idea what he was talking about. I guess certain things have to, happen to you in your life before you finally realize it. And the real evil thing about it is that somebody else had tried to say bad things about the person, and it wasn't true. Because later on, when I was thinking about it, I was like, that's what he was talking about, right? He knew stuff. I could never connect the situations, or it never occurred to me. But anyhow, so there's no people in here who want to know anything about Extraterrestrials, the book, The Biggest Secret by David Icke, where you can find it. Does anybody want to learn anything about that? Or is there any people who are wanting to do these a live stream, but you're too embarrassed to do it? Or the app won't let you do it? I don't know. Like I said, the reason why my channel was able to do it was because around 2008, 2009, 2010, somewhere around there, I think it was when eBay first started, because I remember that auctions, eBay used to have auctions, and it would have a countdown timer, and whatever the price went for on that auction, you could pick up, expensive equipment for dirt cheap, because they would have to send it to you, even if it cost them more to send it than than the product cost, or the value of the product. I mean, even if they were losing money, right? But around this time, I found out about this lady. Her name was Hulda Clark. And this is when computer first came out. So I ordered my computer. I ordered a computer because I had always used computer at the library, at the college. But now they were like giving them to people, on credit. And it was America Online. You had to plug into the telephone outlet. And so I guess this is how I found out about Hulda Clark. And they said, well, people are going into the libraries and stealing her books. Okay? They're stealing them because they don't want the people to know about her books, which she has books written in all different kinds of languages. You can find them on newcenturypress.com out of Chula Vista. She's no longer with us. I met her in person in 2007 at Health Freedom Expo in Long Beach, California. And she was making these she was a physicist, and she was making electronic devices, kind of almost like a Royal Raymond device, right? And so I finally got one of her books. I had to have the library order it, right, from a different library. They put a hold on it and they shipped it from, I think, Bakersfield or somewhere. And so I started reading the book, and I was like, that makes perfect sense, because I understand electronics. I took an audio video course, and I had my own audio video repair shop, and I also took an alternative medicine online course, but I didn't complete it. But and so I read her book, and because I understood electronics, I said, This makes perfect sense. And I realized that 90% of the population does not know this information. So, because they don't understand electronics. If they did, they would realize that what she's saying makes perfect sense. And so that's how I found out about it. And I was like, I can build these, right? I said, I could make these. And so eBay had just came out and I just got my computer. So I made one and I took a picture of it. This is when digital cameras first came out. And I took a picture of it and they freaking sold just like that. I was like, whoa. I said, I'm going to make about 1,000 of these, right? And it was pretty neat because I was sending them to all different people all around the world. Singapore, Australia, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Netherlands, Hong Kong, but mostly to United Kingdom. And so I started doing a YouTube. I started doing a YouTube to sell these products on YouTube. You know, I'd advertise them on YouTube that I have them for sale on eBay. And so I'd be down at the library in Fresno. I would travel like 70 miles every day to the library. And I spent the whole day with the homeless people in the library. Because in the summer it's real hot and they have air conditioning. And in the winter time it's cold, so it's nice and warm and toasty in the library. And you have everybody, you know, reading books, and it's a really nice library. It's not a crappy library like so many are because of the homeless people there. One girl, she even had a baby during the time, and she came back with her baby. So that's the kind of stuff that was going on in there in the libraries. It was pretty interesting, but they got rid of it by blocking up the parking in the back, put up some freaking garbage buildings, basically trying to run the homeless people out, because you know that's where they, you know, have a bathroom in there and whatnot. And so I'm sitting in the library, which I lost 1 or 2 computers because I fell asleep and they stole my computer out of there. And so I'm sitting here in the library, and it was really cool. It was really cool because you could go upstairs and use the computers. And it was weird because they actually had minors in there with older people. This was weird, and they got rid of it. You know, but you had all these homeless people and all these minors, but it was a good atmosphere. It was a good aura, not aura. It's a good ambience. The ambience was good, and I'd be sitting there reading a book. This is how I learned about all the civil rights things that were going on. That's how I found out about Huey Newton. That's how I found out about the CIA and all these kind of things, along with the other stuff. But my computer would start ringing, ding, 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 ding. People started subscribing to my channel. I had no idea what this was. You know, such and such just subscribed, such and such just subscribed, and it was just ringing off the hook, ding, 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 ding. When I was in the Fresno County Library, And I don't remember exactly how many people subscribed to my channels, but it was in the thousands. There was thousands and thousands of people subscribed to me to learn about Golda Clark and alternative medicine, that subject. So a lot of these people who are subscribed to me are from that. So a lot of these people are from around the world. They're still here because, you know, they were trying to find out about this device. Golda Clark had a certain device, and then after a while I was like, you know, there's got to be something more. Got to be something more. And boom, I found out about Bob Beck. So I started making Bob Beck devices. Then after I found out about Bob Beck, then they hit me with and I found out about Royal Raymond Rife. And so anyway, that's why I can make these live feeds. I don't know if you can or not. But yeah, there's something wrong with the world. There's something wrong with these people. Right? You got about 500 people doing these vertical live feeds right now. Go look at them. That's all I can say. Go through there and look at them. Look at these. Look what they're doing. This is like one flew over the cuckoo's nest. But anyhow, I was telling you about this one guy who has a channel. And his name is Kevin Yellow. So you know how I made this video the other day about lemons, right? I made a video and I told you that there's a wonderful product available in Asia. Okay? And it's not available here. Why? Because they make a product like it, but over here the scientists take all the good stuff, all the medicinally, all of the stuff that has medicinal qualities, like Leotril, vitamin B17. Have you ever heard of it? And they take it out deliberately. Just like they did in the salt when the cows started dropping like flies. The farmer went out there and said, what the hell is happening to my cows? They're dropping like flies. Because they had taken something out of the salt licks. So they put the substance back into the salt licks, but they didn't change it for the salt that was being consumed by the humans. Right? Because they don't want them, they want them to continue to drop like flies. And if you want to hear about it, go talk to Kevin Trudeau. Find him wherever the hell he's at. I don't know where he's at. You know, he was in prison for almost 10 years. They let him out, but, you know, they took everything he had. They said he's had a little stash somewhere, who knows. But they took all his houses. They sold it, everything to the public. Everything that was in the house, they put it out on the front yard. He had one house in La Jolla. Not La Jolla. He had one house in Oaxaca, over by San Diego. He had one house in Santa Monica. One house in Malibu. They took everything that was in it, put it out in the front yard. And he had one house in Willowbrook, Chicago. Okay? Took everything, put it out in the front yard, sold it. Took away his houses, everything. Basically just left him with the shirt on his back. But if you can find him, you know, go to his YouTube channel. I don't know what he's doing. He hasn't done a live stream forever. Ask him to tell you about the story of when it rains, it pours. And you'll find out how diabolical these people are. They know what they're doing. They're doing it deliberately. Here, worse than any other place. And so that's just a little information on me. Let's see how many people are in here. 0. 0 people in here. That's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to end the live stream because I didn't have nothing to talk about, but there's nothing to do, so. Here's another cutie pie. She's okay. She's okay. She's the one that I told you was, she got all stoned and stuff. And then she was like, she thought she was like a movie star or something, right? So now I finally understand. I finally understand what it meant. So, but you know, it could be Hollywood in disguise. So it could very well be Hollywood in disguise because they are on here. And so is mainstream media. They're on here pretending to be regular people. I could show you them. All these multi-billion-dollar industries are on here acting like if they are a regular person. You can spot them a mile away. See what else it is. And there's this one girl down in El Salvador. I'm pretty sure it's El Salvador. Yeah, I think it's El Salvador. And she's always, like. Hit the like, man. She never stops saying, hit the like. Well, I can kind of understand, you know, if, you know, trying to make some money, you know, over there, it's unbelievable. You know, they live out on boats. I saw that on somewhere. Look at this guy. He's got 45 people in the room and 80 people have liked his channel. This is for the 1976 Copyright Act for Fair Use in Education. Okay, I'm just scrolling through here. What did they turn this channel off or what? 0 people? Oh, that's so wonderful. Get out of here. It's just all craziness. Just all nothing craziness. Except for this lady, she is actually talking about stuff. Okay? I just don't know what she's talking about right now. But she's actually the one, she was dogging Elon Musk. She was psychoanalyzing his mental processes. You know? And back then I was like back and stuff, but now I'm like, I think knows what she's talking about. If you want to check her out, it's called Unbreakable Strong Woman. She's got 100 people. She's got 100 people in the room, so she's making some money. Okay, so it's what's their motive? A lot of these people that are on here, the motive is to make money because, like I told you, this one guy who lives right over here in this little town, it's called Shafter. It's right by Bakersfield. It's right by where I live. It's about 30, 40 miles from where I live. He was making $750,000 a year. He wasn't even in college yet. Right? And I went online and I said, they are going to destroy him. Right? And they shut him down. They shut all of them down. This is like they were standing up for your First Amendment right. This is basically what the Black Panther Party was doing. They were standing up for their civil rights. And I was telling everybody, I said, they're going to shut these people down. And look. But needless to say, he was making damn near $1 million a year. I was like, when I first saw them, man, I've watched them all night long. I was like, this is great. This is, wonderful. This is a sociological and a psychological gold mine. And they knew it. It was absolutely powerful. They destroyed it. They destroyed that movement, what was going on. And but yeah, a lot of them are here to make money. They're monetized. I'm not monetized. So I can say whatever I want. Here's a new person. Phony. And you got a lot of musicians on here. I saw Alvin Bishop. He's like 80 some years old. And he's playing the guitar. He played Fooled Around and Fell in Love by Alan Bishop. Played it right here in California for free. I think it was for free. But his audience was just like, man, that one song says, move to the beat of a different drum? These people were like, people are different, right? I mean, all the people that were around there, they don't have no groove. If you look at them, if you look at some people on these live feeds, on these live streams, you see them when they're listening to music or they're watching a band or something, they're like, if you turn off the sound and you watch them, they have no rhythm. That must be horrible. So let's see what else is on here. Then you got people who just sit there and do nothing. They don't even talk. They don't do nothing. They just sit there in front of the camera. Some of them just sleep. They'll have the camera right there and just sleeping. And you have a lot of sorcery. People reading the tarot cards. You have a lot of people reading cards on here. Here's a new person. 71 people in the room and 121 likes. I see one person just came into the room. Oh yeah, but anyway, he was sitting there like mocking what I had said. And he was sitting there eating a lemon. He had a whole plate of lemons. You know what that will do to your teeth? The acid in lemons is very, very powerful. You know, showing people to do that and mess up everybody, you're missing the point. Read about vitamin B17 Laetrile by medical doctor G. Edward Griffin. And while you're at it, go ahead and read his other book that he wrote about the creature from Jekyll Island. See, some people just got it turned on in their bedroom with no, right? And they actually have people in there leaving comments, and this one has 27 people in the room with nobody in there, just showing an empty room. But yet I have 0 people in here. Okay, so stay tuned, everybody. I don't have anything to talk about right now. But stay tuned. I'll try and think of something that's important to talk about. Okay, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for leaving comments, even though they were crappy comments. I know it's late right now, and that's probably why. You know, over on the East Coast, it's what, midnight already, or morning? Let me see, what time is it here, and I'll tell you what time it is on the East Coast. Okay, it's 8, it's going to be 9 here, so 10, 11, it's going to be midnight right now on the East Coast. That's why there's no people in there. That's why there's no comments. I'm going to go out of the channel and then come back in and see if that changes something. Oh, I can't do it on that. No, that's what I'm broadcasting on. Oh, wait. I can't do that. Okie dokie. Have a lot of dudes acting like chicks on here. Don't ask me why. Oh yeah, but I was talking about Prince, right? And they show him with this one girl. I always thought he was wild and crazy, and what I saw about him was that he was chasing this girl around, trying to beat her up and all this stuff. But he was talking civilized, like an intelligent person to this one lady, and he tried to get her to sing, but she was too embarrassed to sing. I guess a lot of people are embarrassed to sing, or I don't know why. Why are people embarrassed to sing? Or some people are not. Some people are not embarrassed to sing. But a lot of people are embarrassed to sing. I wonder why. Channel here to see what's going on with it. Anyways, Prince still around? Somebody played something good on the guitar the other day. What? Oh yeah. What's this guy? Justin Bieber. There's Justin Bieber, and he plays this song by this other Justin. What's the other guy's name? This is confusing. But he played a song, man, and it must have been sent from up above. He played it quite a few times at different times, but nothing like this time when it was probably the first time. They caught it on videotape, and it's just bizarre, that spirit moved through him. The name of the song is Cry Me a River. And I remember the first time I heard somebody mention the song was this one guy. He was a First Amendment auditor, and his YouTube channel, which they put them all out, but his YouTube channel was called High Desert. Something High Desert. I remember he had said something about that song, but I never saw this kid play it. And the kid plays it on his acoustic guitar better than the movie star. But we would never have heard it if it wasn't for these live feeds, these vertical live feeds. Well, I don't know if it's on vertical live feed, but it's on YouTube. So you learn some good stuff on these live feeds, like adding the salt to the vinegar. I learned that, and cayenne pepper. I've been using that. I got a whole bag of garlic, but I forgot to get myself this one stuff. I was going to make a garlic dish, right, of something. I'm going to have the menu though, and drench it in oregano. Then later on, when the time is right, I'm going to get me some oregano oil. I don't know, it's kind of up in the air. I don't know if I'm going to go with the oregano oil or the tea tree oil and use that with the DMSO. I told you what happened when I tried it, right? It all starts to make perfect sense. There's me. And it says there's one person in here, but that's probably me that's watching it. Oh, there's somebody else in here that I probably should boot. But if I boot all these right here, well, it's not getting out anyway. I should go ahead and boot it. How's your night going? Are you still in here? How's your night going? Where are you at? Are you a night owl? Okay, got two people in here, so at least I know that people are starting to, that it is actually working. Now if I only had something to talk about. So how many people, let me turn the light on so that you can see me. How many people in here eat menudo? How many people go to Dollar General and buy a can of menudo? Well, I got a can right here. They're about $4.50. I mean, I was going to this one place and buying it homemade. You know, it's got all the bells and whistles in it. But the last time I bought it, it wasn't like fully cooked. It was like freaking raw. And so I asked the lady, I said, are you supposed to take this home and finish cooking it? I said, because it was raw. And she was like, but I don't have a pot to cook it. Like I said, I only have a little small frying pan for frying eggs. And that's it. So I had to resort to go back to menudo in a can. But it's pretty good. It just doesn't have all the bells and whistles in it. How many people eat menudo out of the can? It's a lot better than it used to be. And if you buy the one that has, you know, the hot one, the hot chili one, that one is not as good. The tribe, that chili does something to the tribe. It makes it, the texture of it terrible. So I don't buy the hot one, even though I like the hot, you know, I guess it's New Mexico chili's the hot one. Which is the hot one, New Mexico or California? Wow, whichever it is. I don't know if it's cayenne. What kind of chili do you put in menudo? But I got the chili beans, and you know how there's all kinds of different chili beans? I think this is the best one. You see, it uses the kind of chili that goes in menudo. It tastes like menudo. I don't know if you know that or not. You know how there's different kinds of chili beans? Some of them are nasty. Some of them are nastier than others. And you know, this is like a no-name brand. And it's got good chili now. I've been looking everywhere for it. I'm like, which ones are those? You can buy like, you know, the different name brand ones. And I couldn't figure out which one it was, right? Till last night I was making some chili beans. I'm like, these are the ones. Which brand was that? So I got them from Dollar General. So I bought me another one today. So I'm trying to keep tabs on it so that I can show you which one is the good one. Because there's all kinds of different chili beans. Right. And so, what were we talking about? We're talking about the menudo. Oh, I got the chili beans right here. Nope, that's my lemon for the menudo. And sauerkraut. They say you should eat sauerkraut, but you know it's got a lot of salt in it, so I got to figure out something. I got to figure out something to, you know, make some sauerkraut soup. You know, there's a sauerkraut soup that has pork in it. You like use bacon or something. But anything good, they destroy it. They put so much salt in here. I'm going to try and figure out how I can cut down the salt. Let me find those chili beans. See, I bought a great big boatload of mayonnaise. I don't know if it's Best Foods. I hope it's Best Foods type. You know how they have the sweet one and the not. Okay. Can of menudo. I don't know if you guys eat menudo or not. Can you see it from there? If not, try it. It's at Dollar General. That's where I got this one. I know it's backwards, but that's what I'm gonna have. Load it up with oregano. Put some lemon. Okay, so I got my some cream corn. This stuff is overlooked, right? This is excellent stuff, man. Right? You only have it at Thanksgiving. And what are those beans? I know I bought a can of. They're around here somewhere. Here they are. I think this is the brand Clover. Clover chili beans. Oh man, I got the wrong stuff. These are horrible. These are the red beans in chili sauce. These are horrible. They taste like, oh man. Oh well. You know, according to the doctrine of signatures, this is a medicinal modality. It's a modality of something. It has to do with wellness. It's called the doctrine of signatures. And it basically says if there's a plant that looks like a certain thing, that's what it's for. That's what it's to treat. So these chili beans are made out of kidney beans, so it might have something to do for that, right? According to the doctrine of signatures. I studied alternative medicine. I took a home study course in it. I just never finished reading the homeopathy book, which is really, really good stuff. You know, it uses reverse, you know, for whatever the ailment is, it uses something reverse of it, something like that. Makes perfect sense. They put all this stuff out. Here in the valley, I think if there are any, they're fake. They are the opposition pretending to be them. To get anywhere near, you know, someone who's real, you have to go either to South Los Angeles, you know, area, or up north. But here in the valley, they ain't having none of that. Even medical doctor G. Edward Griffin was using Leotril, like I had just said, vitamin B17, which is abundant in apricot seeds. And he was right here in Bakersfield. The FBI chased him out back in the day. That's why he's down over there too. You have all kinds of alternative medicine, you know, reishi, moxibustion. There's dozens of them. There's psychological type stuff. I don't remember all the names. It was in my book. It showed you all the different ways of healing. Yoga, right? Even sex is a healing modality. In Ayurveda, that's the oldest medicine known to man, is from India. Ayurveda. Sex is a medicinal thing. You use sex for healing. It was all in my alternative medicine book. Anywho, it's getting late and there's no people in here. Everybody's asleep on the East Coast and everywhere in between. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing off. I hate to dine and dash, but you know how it goes. Tomato, tomato. Showed you my chili beans. Showed you my menudo. Just hope I don't do them all at the same time. Put my beans away. I bought the wrong damn beans, and I took my glasses in there too. I was in a hurry. All right, so you know, this channel, I talk about psychology, I talk about the extraterrestrials, I talk about David Icke, I talk about all kinds of stuff they don't want you to know about. If you want to find out a little bit about things that I talk about like the Vogel crystal, I talk about crystals, Marcel Vogel, all these scientists, not from 200 years ago. Some of these scientists are right here working in San Jose, California. Right? San Jose is like 140 miles away from where I'm at. Marcel Vogel, he was research scientist for IBM, Industrial Business Machines, back in the day when IBM was the largest computer company on planet Earth. Okay? I talk about all these different scientists. Wilhelm Reich, who actually worked with Sigmund Freud, but if you major in psychology in college, you'll never hear about them because they don't want you to know about it. Okay? This person, Wilhelm Reich, is a scientist and a psychologist, and he invented this stuff called orgone, which they absolutely don't want you to know about. I got some right here. I'll show it to you. This is kind of fancy. It doesn't have to be fancy. You just need aluminum shavings or copper shavings and some resin, and that's it. But you know, people are making them to look all fancy, and that's fine too, right? They're putting them in pyramids, and they look really super cool. Actually, you can get them on eBay. But here's one here, and it's getting old. It's starting to change colors. But this is some Oregon right here. This is what Don and Carol Croft were talking about, and they're no longer with us either. One right after the other. Okay? They do not want you to know about this. This is Oregon, or some people call it Oregonite. It was made by Wilhelm Reich, who was probably an extraterrestrial. And he's got a, you can watch a little bit about him. They really hated him, and he psychologically diagnosed or analyzed the billionaires, the people with power. He wrote this book called Listen, Little Man. You can still find it on eBay. It's just a little small book. And I guess they just hated him, right? They put him in a Pennsylvania prison. But I talk about all this stuff. I talk about Oregon and all this stuff. If you want to learn a little bit about it, you want to learn about the Greys and the reptilian shapeshifters and all this other stuff. There's this one guy, I think he's Japanese, and I think he's a school teacher or a professor or something. He has a website, okay? It's been there for forever. And on that website, he talks about everything. Cloudbusters, aliens, Royal Raymond Drive, everything that I talk about it's on his website, okay? And the name of the website, if you want to find out about any of this stuff, then you'll know what I'm talking about, okay? The name of the website is Educate. It uses a hyphen, right? The dash. EducateYourself.org. Educate-yourself.org. And you'll see all the stuff that I'm talking about, and I'm pretty sure they even have pictures. So if you go looking like for Area 51, or this thing that happened in New Mexico, Roswell, where they have all these, they said that they found an alien, they have pictures of it on that website. So I talk about all this stuff, so you can, get it firsthand from me. If you have any questions or whatever, that's what I'm doing on these live feeds. Okay.